In this video, you'll explore the RMS Queen Mary, a former ocean liner that now serves as a hotel and museum, and its reputation as one of the most haunted ships in the world. But is it all true? Welcome aboard the RMS Queen Mary, one of the most luxurious ocean liners of its time, and now one of the most haunted locations in the world. Docked permanently in Long Beach, California, the Queen Mary has earned a reputation as a paranormal hotspot, drawing ghost hunters, thrill seekers, and the curious from around the globe. But what is it about this majestic ship that draws so many spirits? The Queen Mary was launched in 1936, a marvel of Art Deco, design, and luxury, carrying the rich and famous across the Atlantic. However, her service took a dark turn during World War II, when she was transformed into the Grey Ghost, a troop transport ship.
Now for the first pictures to be released showing that great ship, the Queen Mary, on war work. As a giant troop transport, she took the first contingent of the AIF to go overseas. She took men of the 8th Division to Singapore, and later she brought American troops to Australia.
With over 800,000 military personnel carried and stories of untimely deaths, it's no wonder that some believe the ship's troubled past has left a lingering presence. But even in retirement, the ship's history of paranormal activity continued to grow, as strange occurrences and sightings were reported by both staff and visitors. Today, the Queen Mary is a hotel and museum, attracting visitors from all over the world who are drawn to its rich history and haunted past. The Queen Mary's history is woven from the threads of tragedy and loss, from the devastating effects of war to the untimely deaths of passengers and crew. It's little wonder, then, that the ship is said to be haunted by so many restless spirits. From the engine room to the grand staterooms, almost every area of the ship has its own unique paranormal tale to tell. And yet, despite the many ghost stories and legends surrounding the ship, the Queen Mary remains a beloved and iconic landmark, attracting visitors from all over the world. So what's behind the Queen Mary's enduring appeal? Is it the chance to catch a glimpse of the paranormal, or is it the ship's rich history and cultural significance? One of the ship's most notorious spirits is that of John Pedder, a young crewman who met a tragic end in the engine room. Crushed by the notorious Door 13 during a routine drill in 1966, Pedder's spirit is said to still roam the area. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a shadowy figure in blue coveralls, sometimes accompanied by the sound of footsteps echoing through the otherwise silent space. Stateroom B340 is perhaps the most infamous location on the Queen Mary. The room was closed for decades due to an overwhelming number of reports of paranormal activity, including unexplained voices, lights flickering, and guests being violently shaken awake. For years, this room was off limits, but it has recently reopened for those daring enough to spend a night. Another notorious hotspot is the first-class swimming pool. Though it's been empty for years, guests report sightings of spectral women in vintage swimsuits and hearing the distinct sounds of splashing. One spirit frequently seen here is that of a little girl named Jackie, whose playful laughter and cries have been caught on tape. Paranormal investigators have captured eerie EVPs and shadow figures near the pool, further cementing its haunted reputation. Perhaps the most famous ghost story associated with the Queen Mary is that of the Lady in White, a misty apparition that's said to haunt the ship's first-class lounge. According to legend, the Lady in White was a young passenger who died under tragic circumstances, and her spirit has been trapped on the ship ever since. Many have reported seeing her ghostly figure, often accompanied by an icy cold breeze or the faint scent of perfume. Then there's the engine room hauntings, where visitors have reported strange noises, unexplained movements, and even full-blown apparitions. Some claim to have seen the ghost of a young engineer who died in the engine room, while others have reported being touched or pushed by unseen forces. In the decades since its retirement, the Queen Mary has become a hotbed of paranormal activity, with reports of ghostly encounters and unexplained events flooding in from all over the world. From doors that slam shut of their own accord to apparitions that appear in photographs, the Queen Mary seems to be a hub of supernatural activity. But what makes this ship so haunted? Is it the lingering energy of the countless passengers and crew who've passed through its doors? Or is it something more sinister? Whatever the reason, the Queen Mary remains one of the most haunted places on Earth, a must-visit destination for anyone drawn to the supernatural and the unknown. The Queen Mary has been investigated by countless paranormal teams, including the likes of Ghost Hunters and Most Haunted. Using equipment like EMF detectors, thermal cameras, and audio recorders, investigators have documented numerous instances of paranormal phenomena, disembodied voices, unexplained noises, and sudden drops in temperature that defy rational explanation. The RMS Queen Mary is more than just a haunted ship. It's a piece of living history, a tangible link to the past. If you enjoyed this visit into the supernatural, why not check out this next video?